one more time. Use him, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, First Lady. Good evening to you. Good evening to all the elders and the ministers and every family member. And if you're new here tonight, we welcome you to the Live Right family. We're glad to have you. We trust that you will come again. Just before we get into this teaching, I just want to let you know that last Sunday we were supposed to have our radio program, and because of some technical difficulties in the studio, not with us, some challenges that they had on that end, they were not able to facilitate us and have our radio program. So next Sunday, we are due to be on. I just look out for us at 5 p.m. instead of 5:15. We're going to put it in the chat before. So we are going to have makeup programs for the one that was missed on Sunday. Right? It is not our fault at all. It was challenges at the studio. As you know, we come across, we do it via Zoom, and they were not able to facilitate us on Sunday. Okay, so let's continue where we left off. We're talking about leadership. We're talking about leaders. The last thing we said about leaders, as we look at the word leaders as an acronym, and we're in R, we're going to finish off R this evening. We said a leader is supposed to be resilient. Resilient. That's the last thing we said about a leader. He has to be able to adapt to the pressures of life and the pressures that comes his or her way. You must be able to bounce back, take a licking and keep on ticking. That's a leader. If you can't do that, then you can't be a leader. Life will throw all sorts of things at you, whether you're a secular leader or Christian leader. And we're dealing particularly with Christian leaders, but as a secular leader yourself, you're in a leadership position, you're going to have all kinds of challenges. And I introduced to some of you and reminded some of you of the song Patches. And those of you who are around my age would remember Patches. I think First Lady put it in the chat. I hope you took time to listen to that song. It really talks about resilience. It talks about standing up against the adversities of life. I also shared with you the poem If, one of my favorite poems, If you can keep your head when all about your losing days and blaming it on you. I love that poem because it is so strong. And it ends, you'll be a man, my son. And, it talks about all sorts of things happening to you, but you're standing up to them. And so we continue in R. And the next thing I want to propose to you in terms of leadership, a leader is supposed to be able to rally the troops, rally the people. He must be positive thinking. He must be able to say, we can do this. He must be able to say that. He must be able to get them, the people that he's leading, to come to that place where they are thinking, yes, we can. Yes, we can do it. If you're not able to rally the troops, then why are you leading? If you're not able to bring them together and have them, thinking, yes, we can, then why are you leading them? In fact, you're not really leading them. Let's look quickly at the first verse of scripture. The first passage actually, Numbers chapter 13, verses 26 to 33. Let's look at that. Again, a familiar portion of story. Listen to it with new ears, please. November. Numbers chapter 13, verses 26 to 33. Can we get that read, please?
Yeah, read it to you, Dr. Richards.
Yes.
Now they departed and came back to Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel in the wilderness of Paran at Kadesh. They brought back word to them and to all the congregation and showed them the fruit of the land. Then they told them and said, we went to the land where you sent us. It truly flows with milk and honey, and this is its fruit. Nevertheless, the people who dwell in the land are strong. The cities are fortified and very large. Moreover, we saw the descendants of Anak there. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south. the Hittites, the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea and along the banks of the Jordan. Then Caleb quieted the people before Moses and said, "Let us go up at once and take possession, for we are well able to overcome it."
Okay, stop there. And that is what a leader is supposed to do. He quieted the people and said, let us go up at once, right now, as we speak, this minute, this second. Let us go and take possession, for we are well able to overcome it. That's rallying the people. That's encouraging them. That's motivating them. That's inspiring them. That's telling them, listen, we can do it. And a leader must be able to do that. A leader can't be doubtful and, oh, well, I don't know now, but these people are real big and I'm really not sure. That's not a leader. That's not a leader at all. A leader is supposed to be able to rally the people. We're going to stop there. We're not going to go on to, because we know the other part of it. The other people said, no, we are not able to go because we spoiled the land and we look like grasshoppers to them because they were giants. But the leader, Caleb and Joshua, they were leaders. And Caleb said, listen, these people, we can take this land. We can take this land. That's what they said. That's what a leader is supposed to do. A leader must not wait on somebody else to do that. A leader, if you are leading, then you are supposed to let the people know, hey, you see this thing that we have to accomplish, we can do it. It may look big, it may look great, it may even look impossible, but we can do it. That's your role as a leader, to rally the troops, to rally the people. If leaders, people who are fighting war, even though they're against great odds, you have to tell the people, look, it's just 3 of us and 15 of them, but we can do it. There's only 100 of us, but a couple thousand there, but we can't do it. Your leader is supposed to lead in that way. So a leader is supposed to be able to rally the people, to rally the troop. That's the R. The next R, and we have come to the end of the R's now. A leader is supposed to be ready at all times, always ready. Remember the story of the 5 wise virgins and the 5 foolish virgins? The 5 wise, when they were ready, well, a leader is supposed to be ready like that. Ready, not when things happen, scrambling to get things organized and something happened and you didn't anticipate it. No, readiness means anticipation. Readiness means I will put things in place. Ready means I will delegate whatever has to be delegated. Readiness means I have a plan for what we're going to do, and in case it doesn't work out, I'll go to plan B. That's readiness. A leader is not supposed to be taken by surprise. He is supposed to be ready at all times to deal with whatever situation that takes place. It means getting all the necessary resources, all the necessary people, everything, the equipment, everything. You have to be ready as a leader and ensure that the people are ready. And finally, in the R's, a leader is supposed to be able to read. What is read? Well, people in karate will know what is read, but it's not that I'm talking about. He's supposed to be able to start all over again if necessary. He's supposed to renew and reinstate, restore, reply, redo. He has to be ready to read. There are many reads that will come up. It means doing it over again from the beginning or from a particular point. A leader must be able to read. If when you meet a stumbling block, you can't get up and start all over again, or to get the people to start over again, to restart, then you're not a leader. So think of all the reasons in your life, things that can go wrong and that you have to do over. You may have to rewrite the plan, reread the book. You have to be able to read as a leader. You must be able and willing and ready to read. Are you hearing me? So we want to move on to the last letter in leaders, and that's the letter S. S, as in sweet or sour or smart. A leader, I propose to you, family, must be steadfast, stable, solid, sound. I put all those in one. Steadfast. The Bible said, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. It means that you're not easily moved. You're stable. You're solid. You're sound. You make sound decisions. You're solid in that you're not easily moved. And not only that, but you're solid when people hear you talk. You inspire them. And people must be able to trust your decisions as a leader. So even when you say something that goes against what they think or how they feel, or it's in direct opposition to how they feel about it, they will trust you if, listen, this man is a solid man, I don't see what he's saying. I don't understand. But I know he has always made solid decisions, sound decisions. He is stable. He doesn't do things vi and just like that. He's steadfast. That kind of leader inspires confidence in people. That kind of leader says to people, you can follow me. But when you're easily moved and shaken and you're not sure if the decision that you made is the right one, you can't lead people like that. So you must be steadfast, stable, solid, and sound. The next thing about a leader, and this is important, and I know this is clear, but I need to say it. A leader has to be strong. Strong. And I don't necessarily mean strong physically, but he must be strong emotionally. He must be strong spiritually. He must not be easily intimidated. And some of these things will overlap. Some of these things you would have heard before in the other letters, but we have to mention them again. People follow leaders who are stronger than themselves. If you have a leader and you are stronger than that leader, then that person cannot lead you. A leader must be strong. That inspires confidence in people. He must be able to make good, strong decisions in the face of adversity, like patches. He must have a kind of strength that others don't have. And that strength is displayed in courage. Because a leader's courage gives his followers hope, especially when they're facing great obstacles. Like you're leading the people out and you reach a place where there's a dead end, there's a sea in front of you. You can't start to cry, oh Lord, what's going on? The people will do that, but you have to be strong. You have to say to the people, listen, we need to go forward. You have to show a kind of strength when you're facing adversity, when you're facing all sorts of things, negative things. You have to be strong. And some of the decisions that you have to make are decisions that can only be made by someone who is strong. People want to follow strong leaders. People who display a certain type of strength. Maybe that's why in the last set of elections in the US, maybe that's why the current president got so many votes, because he appeared strong. He showed a kind of strength. He said, I'm willing to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. And even though some people may not have agreed, but they saw the strength and they want a leader, because this leader has to be a world leader. This leader has to be able to stand up to the enemies of their country. So they want somebody who is strong. People follow leaders that show great strength. And so it's one of the traits and one of the characteristics of a leader. You can't be weak, you can't be feeble, you can't be complaining, you cannot show weakness. Even at times when you want to be weak, you want to run away from it all. Sometimes you may wish you didn't have that position. But let that be internal. Leaders must show strength. They must not wilt under pressure. And I'll tell you something, for a Christian leader, to be able to be strong, you must know the word of God. The Bible says, they that know their God shall be what? Strong and do exploits. A leader must be able to do exploits, great exploits. So you got to know your God. If you're a leader, if you're a Christian leader, you've got to know your God. You've got to know your God, and it must be demonstrated through your faith. It must be demonstrated through how you treat people. That's a strength that a leader must have. So you've got to be strong as a leader, and you will come up against all sorts of people as a leader. People will challenge you. As I told you, I've often told you that I like to watch the animals in the wild, the lions and the tigers and all these other animals. And just this evening, I was looking at one, and these two lion brothers, they were very close. You always see them together. In fact, they were pushed out of the pride by their father, because it's time you all to go and start your own pride. And they were always together, and then one day they came across a pride with only lionesses. And these two brothers, instead of, well, what we would say sharing, they decide, each of them decided, it's just me. I want to mate with all of them. And they fought. They wanted to display their strength. And so they fought each other, these two close lion brothers. And one had to leave. He was damaged, he was hurt in battle, and he had to leave. And the stronger one survived, and of course, mated with all the females. That's the kind of thing leadership is about. I don't mean fighting another man for a woman, but leadership says strength. It says that I am leading here, and for me to lead, I must be strong, because sometimes I have to bear the weaknesses of the others. I have to strengthen them. And when I can't find strength from anything, I strengthen myself in the Lord, as David did. Now remember, you can stop me at any time, ask a question, or even if you want to share a testimony. The next thing about leadership in terms of S, and we've done this before, so I'm just going to mention it briefly. A leader, the best kind of leader is a servant leader, one who serves. A leader must know how to serve. If your desire is to add value to others as a leader by serving them, you will become a great leader. Serving them doesn't mean asking them what they want and giving it to them. No. It means looking after their well-being. When you do that, your people will achieve more, they will be more loyal to you, and you will have an easier time of getting things done when you serve your people, when you show them you're willing to serve. One of the things, I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe is said in the army is that a leader, whether it's a general or whoever, They don't ask people to do things that they're not willing to do themselves. I heard that. I'm not sure if that is true because based on what I've seen. But that's a leadership. What leadership is. You don't ask people to do things that you're not willing to do yourself. So a lot of people aspire to go to the top, but what if to get to the top you have to start at the bottom? Let's look at Matthew chapter 20, verses 25 to 28. Matthew chapter 20, verses 25 to 28. Anybody took that one, Joshua?
Mr. Heather?
Matthew 20, 25 to 28. Joshua, you read it if nobody has it.
Right, I'll read it for you, Dr. Richards.
Hmm?
All right, Matthew 20, 25 to 28 says, But Jesus called them to himself and said, You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and those who are great exercise authority over them. Yet it shall not be so among you, but whoever desires to become great among you, let him be your servant. And whoever desires to be first among you, let him be your slave. Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many.
Jesus is saying, if you want to be great, you have to be able to serve. You have to be able to serve. You know, in the next couple of weeks in this country, we will be having general elections. And who are we? Well, people are putting themselves up in various parties to represent you. And when they get there, they need to understand, and if any one of them is listening right now, that you're putting yourself up not just to represent the people, not to lord it over them, not to say I'm in government or I'm in parliament. You're putting yourself up to serve. You have to serve a term of 5 years. That's what you're going to do. If you want to lead people, you've got to be willing to serve them, to tend to their needs, to see what they need and advocate for it. We have a problem in this country, I tell you, of service, and I'm sure many of you have stories. I shared something on the air some time ago. I'm not sure if I shared it here. I think I shared it in the air, on air when I went to this particular place, and we had purchased some things from them, and we had one of the things wasn't good, so I had to take it back. Walked into the place, and again, in this country, we feel serving is a demeaning thing. We feel serving others is something that we don't want to do, we shouldn't do. I walked into the place and there were two ladies sitting down. I may be repeating myself, but I want to share it again. There were two ladies sitting down. One of the ladies had sold us the item, and the other one was sitting, and there were two desks, and there was a corridor in between. So I stood up there, and they each had someone with them. So they were serving other people. So I said, let me stand up and wait until at least one of the persons would have left. But I stood there, and I'm thinking, well, at least acknowledge me. But none of them, neither of them acknowledged me. Until after a while, and I just stood there. Nobody told me, well, have a seat and wait, nothing. I just stood there until one of them, she probably realized, hey, maybe I should tell this guy something. So she looked up at me and she asked me what I came for. I showed her the item. I said, listen, this thing is not good. We purchased it here the other day and it's not good. I came to return it. So she says, so what do you want to do? And I'm like, what I want to do, I just told you, I came to return it. And she said, well, you'll have to talk to the manager. And that's the way she's talking to me. This is the same lady who, I think was about a week earlier, was so pleasant because we came to purchase. I came to return. So the service became different. And she said I had to talk to the manager. I stood there and I waited. She was talking to the person. And then she said to me, talk to that lady over there. No, well, in fact, the other lady, the person who was talking to them got up. And I realized by the conversation that that person who was there was an employee, was not with the second lady, was an employee, not somebody who came to purchase. So I would think that the customer would, get priority. And he was showing her something on the computer that was personal. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you because I heard the conversation. She was trying to pay a bill somewhere and he was showing her how to get into it to pay the bill, and maybe it's an online transaction. And I'm standing there and nobody is serving me. And then the other lady, when the guy got up and he left, the other lady, first lady, one who sold us the thing, said, talk to her. So I turned and I came to her and I said, can I sit down? Because the chair was vacant, but she didn't tell me to sit down. She said, yes, of course, go and sit down. Sit down. And I told her what I came for. And again, she said, you're the sitting manager. And then she told me, who sold it to you? It was her. And I said, yeah. She pointed to the other girl. She said, you had to talk to her. I said, but she told me to talk to you. And she kind of sighed. And she told me I have to wait again. I waited a little bit, and she got up. I don't know where she went, and she went upstairs somewhere. No, as a matter of fact, she spoke to the other lady. She said, you have to attend to him, And the lady says, no, or she asked her why. He said, because you told it, you sold it to him. And she says, I don't sell that. And I'm saying, what? This is from your store. We came into the store, we purchased it. What do you mean you don't sell that? She said, I don't sell that. I don't sell that. So the other girl, there was a little tension between them. The other girl took it, went upstairs, came back down with a new one. And when she came back down, and the other girl saw it, she said, I sell that. That's what I sell. I don't sell the one that is in the sun. But I'm saying, but if it's all in the store, what do you mean you don't sell this one? I'm just thinking it. So she came back and she said, okay, I'm going to get an exchange for you. So I said, I do not want an exchange. I just want a refund. Well, like who tell me say that? She said, I don't know if you could get that. The manager will have to decide that. And I said, okay, no problem. She went in the back by the manager. I can see the manager's office. She's standing by the door. She's talking to the manager and she's looking at me and they're having a conversation. I see she's laughing. I don't want to assume she's laughing at me, but she's laughing and the conversation is going on and on. The other one who sold us the thing, she is still there. She's not doing anything. And I'm sharing all this with you to tell you about serving. Why serving is important. And a lot of people don't understand the importance of serving. And I'm standing here and I'm getting a bit irate, but I said, let me keep my cool because I want this to be a lesson learned. And I'm waiting there. Then she comes back out. She came across to me, walked back to me. And she said, the manager said, okay, you get back to me. We can't give you back your money, but we give you a credit note. I said, no problem. I'll take the credit. I'll take the credit note. She said, okay. And I'm standing there looking at her. She said, but you have a month. You have a month to come back. So just take the credit note, and when you come back, you can take something to that equivalent. So I said, okay, but where's the credit note? She said, no, just come back. And I said to her, so you want me to just leave and come back on another? You haven't given me anything, any documentation, anything? I need something. So when I come back, I can show you I'm supposed to come back. I have a credit note. So she looks at me, stares at me as though she doesn't understand what I'm saying. And then she said, okay, hold on. Went back again, spoke with the manager, come back out and gave me a credit note. And I left. Service is important. If they had served me well, I would have left there feeling good. I would have, when you treat people like that, sometimes it has a ripple effect. You treat somebody bad and they go outside and they treat somebody bad and that person treats somebody bad. We need to understand that service is something that all of us are called to do, to serve one another. And then especially in a job that requires that you serve people, that's what you should do. Even the manager should have spoken to me. The manager is the leader in that particular setting. But she didn't. She was having a conversation with the person, and as I said, they were laughing. I don't know what they were laughing at. But what needed to be done is to satisfy me, is to let me know, hey, listen, I'm sorry. Because the thing was, it wasn't good. It was falling apart. So the first thing you do is apologize and say, well, listen, we're sorry, that you got this and this. But none of that, no apology, no nothing, except I don't sell that. And the other one telling her, you have to do it, because you sell it. And when we went before, the service was much more pleasant because we were there to spend money. And so I wanted to take the time to share that with you. I may have missed out a few more details, but I wanted to take the time to share that with you, to put yourself in a position where you need service. How does it make you feel when people ignore you? How does it make you feel when people they treat you like you're not important? Service is so important. And serving is not a derogatory thing. Serving, Jesus Christ said, I did not come to be served. I came to serve. If Jesus Christ could serve, then who am I? And who are you? And who is the leader? He is the ultimate leader. There's another place that I go to and I dread whenever I have to go into there, because they are slow. They are very slow in what's the word I'm looking for? Their name doesn't suggest that they're slow, but they are very slow. But more than that, my experience going into that place is that they don't treat you, not all of them treat you the same way. Sometimes, you're waiting there, and I keep telling them, I've said it a couple of times. You wait in line, you're at the end of the line, and when you reach up to the top of the line, you find out, well, we don't have this, we don't have that, and we don't have this. That's poor service. Once you run out of an ingredient, or you run out of something that people come to buy, and you have it on the wall, so everybody can read it, so people come to purchase it. If you run out of it, make an announcement, put up a sign, there is no more. Even if it's some of the ingredients to go into whatever, make a sign so the person in the line will decide for themselves whether I want to continue this or I need to go somewhere else. But they wait until they reach up. I mean, you ask for something, oh, we don't have that, We don't have that. Poor service. We as children of God, we need to understand the importance of service, and especially if you're in a leadership position, especially you lead by serving. When you serve people, you're telling them they're important. When you serve people, you're giving them a good experience. When you serve people, they will come back. When you serve people, they will trust you. When you serve people, they will learn what service is and they will serve others. I see the time has gone, so we're going to wrap up here. But service is important for a leader. If you cannot serve, you'll be a bully. If you cannot serve, you will lord it over people. If you cannot serve, you'll be a dictator, and so many other negative things.
Dr.
But when
Joseph, we have Sister Renee's hand is up.
Go ahead.
Hi, good night, everyone. Y'all can hear me?
Yes, we can.
As you were speaking, Dr. Jobs, about, how they were kind and nice to you when you had to spend money, I just saw a kingdom principle in that, which is that you cannot just give good service when you're receiving something for it.
Correct.
And if we are modeling Christ, like Jesus really didn't receive anything. He literally gave everything and received nothing, and we get everything because of what he did. So
Correct.
we can't be like that. And it is for sure convicting, because like you could have those moments of, I would say, no, temptation, weakness, when like somebody might be being nasty to you, and you just you can't ever lose sight that I don't give good service. Just I don't choose to not give good service. That's a double negative, big. I was trying to say.
Yes, yes.
Because I'm not getting, okay, this was not giving me kindness. This was not, and you're just making it a self-centered thing in that moment. Like you just have to give it. That's the kingdom way. So that's what I got from it.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else before we go?
No, Dr. Richards, no one else.
Okay. Thank you, Sister Yannick, for sharing. So we'll finish here tonight and we continue tomorrow, God's willing. And you know, if you know that this is an issue with you, this is a problem with you, even as person you were saying, you can't fool yourself. For you know if you give good service or not. You don't have to be selling something to give service. The way we treat people, that's how we serve them. And if that is something that you know, if you self-reflect and you realize that it's an issue, bring it before God. Say, Father, I want to be able to serve people. I don't want to use my position to demean people and to degrade people and to push them down further. I want to lift them up by serving them. Talk to God. And I promise you, he's going to answer your prayer. Minister Joshua, back over to you. God bless you folks. See you tomorrow night.